Hi everyone, it's Simmer Hills and I'm back in Planet Zoo. I'm making a quokka habitat. I thought this would be quite a good habitat to go with the koala habitat that I built last time, so it's in the same zoo, and I just thought it's from the animals are from the same area, so I thought this was a good one to have as the second habitat. And also these animals are good with humans, so you can make a walk through habitat. So I'd started the habitat by creating the path, and I'd kind of made an area because I wanted a bit of water, although they don't really need the water area, but I thought it'd be a nice visual kind of main point of the habitat. So everything's kind of centered around this water area in the habitat, but like I say, it's not really necessary for this particular animal, but I just thought it was a nice visual point in the habitat for them. So yeah, it's all kind of centered around this little lake in the middle of the habitat, but the guests can actually walk through even into the sleeping area in this one, so it's quite a nice habitat for guests to come and have a look at anyway. So yeah, we're just getting into doing the wooden pieces you can see on the inside. There was kind of more of a guide to see where things were going. They do actually get removed later on, but I decided to create this kind of living roof for this particular habitat because it's a lot of it's eco design, as some of the stuff I've used for the exhibits is. So I thought we'll keep that theme running and kind of have it eco themed. So I created this living roof, and trying to find the plants I've found really difficult because I wanted to use some of the plants that were used on the other eco roofs, so I had to try and select the specific plant I wanted and then recreate the roof. And then, but I have added some different plants and I haven't just used those. So I've got a mixture of like yellow and purple flowers on the roof, and then I add some like dry grass type, I don't really know what they're called, but yeah, some like dry grasses as well, as little, as you can see, they're just dotted all over, so it looks like it's growing naturally, rather than just having a uniform. I didn't want it to be too uniform. I wanted it to look a bit like it's been left to grow naturally. So you've got all these different plants and grasses up there, and then I just add a fence around it, and I think it just adds a little bit of detail, and yeah, it looks really nice in the end. I wish I could have lined these up exactly with the wall, but it didn't quite work out. So some of the fence is overlapping, the one I eventually choose. But I think because of the design of the fence, it still works. So I did lower this fence into the wall because you didn't need a full size fence. But as you can see, some of it is overlapped, but because of the style of the fence, I think you can kind of get away with it. So it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, not everything lines up in the game. It would be handy if these was the same width as the walls. But anyway, never mind. It is what it is. So yeah, I carry on using these wall pieces just to create like my own boundary. I didn't use the boundary fences. I created my own boundary for this one. The only thing is, when I came to seeing where the animal could escape from, these walls, it was still showing the animal could escape through it even though there was no gaps. So I did actually add glass over that later on, and just kind of made a design feature out of it, because I don't really know why I needed to do that, and I don't know why it was still showing that animals could escape from there, but it was, unfortunately. So I just put some glass over that and it seemed to resolve the issue. So I'm not really sure why that was caused, or yeah, I'm not sure. So I just adjusted the door to fit in this little gap, and then I do create my own fence for the rest of the habitat. And I just add a standard, like a pre-built staff facility so that they can feed the animals. I didn't create my own for that. I just used the standard one in the game. And I think I had that in right at the end though, so I don't even know if that's on camera, but I do add one in, but it's just the same one that I used on the koala habitat. So I thought, I don't really mind with the staff buildings if they're pre-built or anything. So yeah, I just use that. But this is where I create my own fence. Yeah, I use one of the mesh pieces and some wooden beams, and I just create one piece of the fence and then duplicate it to create a whole fence. The only thing is, when I finished off, I finished off the whole area, and then I looked where animals could escape, and all of these fences the animals could escape from. And I think it's because I used the mesh piece. I think it's climbable. So I put a piece of glass over it to kind of get over that issue. And with the glass there, they were no longer climbable. So, and actually it doesn't look too different with the glass on. So I did just add the glass, and then that was, and also it still looks pretty much the same with the glass on. So I thought that was quite an easy fix to stop them being able to escape. But yeah, it's just being careful, obviously, with animals that can climb, making sure you're using pieces that they are not able to escape from. So it's something that I should have really thought about, and I clearly didn't. But yeah, it's something to think about for obviously the next build that I do. But yeah, this glass piece seemed to get rid of any issues anyway. I don't think I got it quite straight because I did have to readjust later on. It was just showing through some of the mesh, but yeah, it's just a bit of trial and error when you're doing these things. The only place you could really see it is in that corner, but there ends up being a big tree in front of that corner, so it's not a huge deal breaker being able to see the glass there. So yeah, but that, at least I've got a custom fence in this one, and I think it looks really enclosed, this space, so it's quite a nice little habitat, this one. So the quokkas are based in Australia, and I think they're a relation of the wallaby, but they're a lot smaller than a wallaby, or they look a lot smaller in the game than a wallaby. I think they're really, really cute, actually. But it says they're really friendly with humans on the Zoopedia file. So I thought, I'm not sure how comfortable they are with humans in real life, but I presume they're okay with them because it's letting you have a walk through habitat. But I think, yeah, they look really cute. The picture of them on the that I've put on the glass, it doesn't quite look like the animals in the game. Like they're a lot more grey than they are in the picture. They look more brown in the picture. So I'm not sure why they look so different in the picture, but hey ho, they do look a little bit different. But I think they're really cute anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna create a waterfall, and I wanted it to look like quite natural. So this is probably the main focal point in the habitat. And I did use the individual waterfall pieces, which I kind of try and avoid using a lot of the time because I find them really difficult to place. And if anybody's got any tips on how to place the waterfalls, it'd be really useful, actually, because when I place, especially like the midsection, it never seems to fall where I expect it to fall, so I'm trying to place it, but the water's in a different place to where the actual little, because it's got like a little dot, but then the water's spread out, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong with it, but I really struggle to place the midsection, especially. The bottom section's not too bad, that seems to flow where you need it to. The top section again it's a little bit awkward, but not as awkward as the middle section. But I mean, I managed to just get it to look as natural as I could. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's just me that struggles with the waterfalls, but the middle section, really, I do struggle with it. But the top section doesn't look quite right all the way down. So yeah, I do struggle with them for some reason, and I'm sure it's probably something I'm doing wrong. But the middle section especially, I really do struggle with that. So the quokkas like these log tunnels, and also some of the little bubble machines and stuff, although it says they don't need that much food and water. But I did add a little water fountain so that the guests could see them drinking. And I've added 2 food platforms so they can go and get the food off them. The only reason I added 2 was because it's quite a big habitat. So I thought it would be nice to have one at either side, because, you know, the animals are only quite small. But I thought, especially if they get a bigger population of animals in here, it'd be nice to have like 2 feeding platforms, so there's plenty of food for the animals. And also, with it being quite a large habitat, they can feed in different areas. So that was the reasoning behind having 2. I probably need to add a little bit more detail around where the keeper comes in. Maybe add some more plants around there. It's a bit plain, that area. So maybe that's something that I can come back to. But I'm quite happy with where the visitors walk round and how much there is for them to see. But the bit where the keeper comes in, I think, could do with a little bit more zhuzhing up. But I like this little feeding platform area. I think that looks really nice. It looks natural, and yeah, I'm pleased with that little area. And with it being next to the water, I think you've got those 2 little areas, and it looks really nice. The waterfall definitely looks like it's been added, because obviously you've got the bright orange rock. But I quite like that. Like, there's some natural areas and some that's been added to manually. So, and it stands out. And yeah, just getting to add in the plants, and just trying to make it look a bit more visually interesting. These massive trees, I think I wish we had a couple of like different size. And I know we've got quite a small one, and then this absolutely huge one. I think we could do with a few more sizes of those. They're just so chunky, but yeah. I mean, especially in a habitat that's this size, it fits in okay. But yeah, getting that, but then it's like, what do you add with it? Because that tree is such a focal point. So I did add a few different ones, and then just added these, I don't even know what they're called, but like the tall flowers, just to try and fill it out. I've tried to use them more like bushes, to be honest. But I think they just fill the area out, and yeah, you've got plenty of foliage to break up such a big space. I've added plenty of like information points so that guests are getting their education needs met. So they've got 2 speakers that tell you about the animals, and we've got 2 of the screens inside the habitat, but also there is a viewing area a viewing area from outside the habitat of the sleeping area, and there's 2 more screens there as well. So there's plenty of education points for this particular habitat. And then I've added quite a few of the money points near the exits and near the screens as well. So hopefully this habitat will make quite a bit of money for the zoo. Although this is on Sandbox, I have built this on Sandbox because I didn't want to run out of money on this one, so I did build it on Sandbox. So we're just lighting the habitat up. I think it actually looks really nice on the night time setting. So this is one thing I do really like about Sandbox, so you can just flip between night and day and change the lighting how you want it. And I think that's one good thing about the Sandbox mode. So yeah, we'll light this up, make it look, that tree looks, I mean, it would be great on Halloween to have that tree lit up orange. It look so good. And just add some little lights to the tunnels. Yeah, I just think it finishes it off having it all lit up on the night, and it looks really, really cute. So because I've kind of done this zoo as an Australian theme, I'm thinking maybe to do a kangaroo habitat next, or possibly a wallaby. I did have a look at what animals could go with the quokka, and you could have emus with them. But the only thing is, if I'd have put emus in, it couldn't have been a walk-through habitat, which is a shame because it would have been nice to have another animal with them. But then you lose the interaction of having humans being able to come through. So, and I did really want a walk-through habitat. So yeah, I've not put another species in with them. But if you've got any suggestions of a habitat you'd like to see done next, especially in this zoo, this is obviously a warmer climate zoo, so any animals you think would pair well with the koala and the quokka, drop a comment below and I'll see. I haven't decided definitely which habitat to do next, so if you've got any suggestions, let me know. If you have liked this, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any more. I'm doing a mixture at the moment of Planet Zoo and The Sims 4 videos. So if you like those 2 games, then you may enjoy some content coming up. I will be moving to do some different videos as well. When Paralives comes out, I'll be looking at that and Life by You as well. So that's some different things that will be coming out as the games get released. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video and like the final look of the quokka habitat, which is almost complete now. I think this one's turned out okay. I think some more details could definitely be added, especially, as I say, where the keeper comes in. So there's definitely things that can be added to as the zoo progresses, but as a starting point, I'm pretty happy with the look of this one. So yeah, thanks for joining me in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.